Ladies and gentlemen, sitting is extremely dangerous. Its effects can be worse than cigarettes. Stay tuned and I'll explain to you why, and I'll also explain how you can avoid the terrifying effects of sitting. Yeah. Yo, it's Kurt McFit, LifeSkulpt. How y'all doing? I'm doing good, thanks for asking. If you're just joining me and this is the first time you're seeing me, welcome to LifeSkulpt. We are a group of individuals who have fit minds and as a result have fit bodies. We are into developing ourselves and becoming the best version of ourselves. So if you're into that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. So now let's get into our topic of the day, sitting. Research has apparently linked prolonged sitting, excessive sitting, to high blood pressure, high blood sugar, amongst other things like cardiovascular disease and even cancer. Apparently, sitting for prolonged periods of time can lead you to death. Basically, you are no longer safe watching Netflix. Now, I am no scientist, nor am I a doctor, but I will say that there is a thing called the principle of SAID, specific adaptation to impose demands. And basically what that means is that whatever demands you place on the body, it will adapt to them. So what these doctors and researchers have found is that sitting places more of a demand on the body than we give credit. As a personal trainer, I can attest to this, and I've seen how prolonged sitting can cause various different adverse effects to the musculoskeletal system, that being tight hips, tight chest, hunched shoulders, a tight neck from poor posture while you're sitting. So I can say that prolonged sitting will definitely cause those types of effects. Now, if you want a full report, like, Kurt, what are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? I sit all the time. Listen, if you want a full report on these findings, you can definitely do the research for yourself. Just use Google. Or, you know what? I'll even provide some links in the description that you can click on and go read for yourself how they found that these things can actually kill you. Sitting can kill you. But let's not be dramatic, okay? Let's not be dramatic. I'm pretty sure it takes a lot of sitting to actually wipe you out. But unfortunately for us, our lives are kind of sedentary. At least a lot of our lives are sedentary. We sit at desk jobs. Me personally, I have a job where I'm sitting for 8 hours a day. So I can totally see how sitting definitely can suck. You know, you find I've constantly had to remind myself, Kurt, shoulders back, Kurt, tighten your core, while I'm sitting at my desk chair because they suck. But I wouldn't bring this up without offering you some things to think about when you're sitting at work or sitting at home. So there's one way to reverse these effects. There's one way to stop these muscular imbalances, and that would be to just, it's kind of like the obvious solution, sit less. I mean, if you have a desk job, take a break every now and again. Stand up, stretch. You can even talk to your employer about getting you a ergonomically correct desk situation. I know there was a job that I worked for where they actually had desks that you could stand up and work on. And that actually helped a lot. The next would be to exercise. But you don't want to do just any exercise. You want to do exercises that promote a strong posterior chain and core. That means exercises that are going to promote strong back, strong lower back, hamstrings, glutes, things of that nature. Exercises to think about that will help reverse some of these effects and help strengthen the muscles that are constantly in this fixed position when you're sitting are: 1, kettlebell swings. Kettlebell swings actually promote the glutes and your lower back, the strength there. People underestimate the kettlebell too much. We're going to talk about that later. Next would be the deadlift. Deadlift. why I don't see too many people deadlifting. I go to the gym and I set the weights up and people looking at me like I'm crazy. Like I'm crazy, like, yo, what is he doing? Like they pointing at me and stuff. Y'all gotta deadlift, man. I'm telling you, deadlift. The next would be to squat. Squat. You can do body weight squats, you can do jump squats, or you can throw some weight on your back and squat. Or you can do a goblet squat with a kettlebell, but squat. The next would be to work your core. Now, core is a word that encompasses a lot of different muscles, to believe it or not. The core doesn't just mean your abs. But when I say core exercises, I mean things like planks, like doing a plank. Plank promotes stabilization. You can even put plates on your back to help add some resistance to that plank. You can do a lot of these stabilization movements which will help your body to control itself when it's in these fixed positions. Now there are many other exercises you can do to work your back, to work your core, pull-ups, all types of different things. I like pull-ups. Anyway, what I will say though is that you must stretch. When you're sitting, your body's in this fixed position, the joints are locked in this fixed position, muscles are contracted here, there, everywhere. You want to stretch. You want to stretch, you want to make sure you open those joints up, you get the blood flowing around there so that it prevents injury in the future. Preventing injury in the future, that's just a weird phrase, isn't it? Because if I'm preventing injury, that's what prevent is. Whatever. In a nutshell, sitting can be dangerous for you, especially if you aren't working out, you aren't stretching, and you aren't trying to stand as much as possible. Let's not be dramatic. Let's not be dramatic. Sitting is only dangerous if you do not work out. If you sit for your whole life and you're just not active, then yeah, probably sitting and a whole bunch of other stuff is dangerous for you. But anyway, that is my message to you today, is just to be active and be conscious of these things, and I want to bring this to light. Maybe I can help someone who does have a job and doesn't realize that sitting without being active can kill them. Anyway, LifeSkulpt. We're more than a few pounds down. We're more than a few pounds of muscle. We are stronger, we are better, and we stand more. Fit mind, fit body. This is Kurt McFit. I'm out. Needless to say, life is just dangerous, man. It's like we can't even sit anymore because we possibly could just die. Yeah.